That doesn't necessarily mean that Sasuke will be able to beat Lee in a fight or that he's necessarily stronger than Lee, just because Sasuke is a stronger opponent to guard than Lee is to guard, due to various reasons.
Okay, so I can, 1 second, let's pull up the statement before we start arguing over it. Where's this shit? All right. Where? Here, in scans. So, Gaara, who had found himself at a disadvantage during the fight with his strongest opponent, Sasuke, wished for his full body possession. So, before Gaara started wishing for full body possession, Sasuke used nothing but taijutsu.
That doesn't contradict what I said at all. You saying that he only used taijutsu doesn't defeat the fact that he was still a better matchup for a guard than Lee was, via the
In what
fact that
way?
given an array that he was literally prepared to fight against Gar, whereas Lee was not prepared to fight against Gar. He didn't know who he was going to fight. Sasuke knew who he was going to fight, and Kakashi specifically trained Sasuke in order to go up against fucking Gar. Kakashi specifically made Sasuke mimic Lee's movement and be aware of what Gar's movements in order to counter them. So it's like he had um pre knowledge of Gar's arsenal, so he can already know how to adapt and fight towards this said Gar.
No, you even said it there, but the way that he prepared to fight Gaara is by using the same things that Lee uses. He's literally mimicking Lee's taijutsu. So I don't know what you think he has against Gaara that makes him like a better counter matchup. Pre-Chidori, that is. Obviously, Chidori is a like a strong tool, but before that, he just used the same tools that Lee had. He just did it better than Lee did because he's stronger.
Doesn't actually quite track there. I'm going to say this again. Yes, we do know that he mimicked Lee's movements, but him having pre-knowledge of Gar's arsenal gives him better time to know what's going to come. So if he already knows what's going to come, he can already react ahead of time, even if he's still using Lee's arsenal. Which means that, for example, if I know a tennis ball is going to come at me at whatever angle, and I'm using the same type of dodge that somebody used previously, I'm going to more so be able to do it in a quicker time. Not saying that Sasuke is faster than Lee, because he knows going to be aware. Okay, like I said before, and no, he does not do it better than Lee. He does the same movements as Lee. It does not mean that he's doing it better. Nothing in that scan suggests that he's doing it better than Lee.
Okay, so you're saying that because he already has knowledge like on Gaara's attacks, he's able to kind of like predict better than what Lee was able to. So he performed better because of that.
Yeah, he already know what type of attacks is coming at him, and he already seen Lee do it because Kakashi made him mimic Lee's movements and see what Lee did against Gar. So he's able to mimic these same movements and be able to counter Gar. So that gave him an advantage than what Lee did. So he has an advantage, and that's why I say he was at a disadvantage. I think that's what the context that it's talking about.
Okay, so is there any specific like example in the fight of Sasuke using like knowledge on Gaara to fight him better? Because we don't see that. All we see is he's just using his pure speed to overwhelm him.
So the knowledge prior is Kakashi's training. And the knowledge of what Kakashi literally says that he has Sasuke mimic Lee's movement. And we know that Kakashi also taught Sasuke a specific jutsu in order to use against Gar, which he did. So if he's training particularly for this said person, even if this said person is stronger than you, you're still going to have a much better time than what you would if you did not have this pre-knowledge. For example, if I was training basketball to go up against an opponent and I'm training these certain movements that I've seen somebody else work against this said person, it does not mean that I'm better than them at. It's just that now I'm aware and I can adapt better. Does not mean that I'm stronger and faster.
Yeah, so you keep saying like he has pre-knowledge, so he had a better time. But again, we've both said he's using the same movements Lee did. I'm still not seeing where you're justifying that because he had like knowledge that Lee didn't, it led to an advantage. He never in the fight, we never see him be like, oh, I know Gaara's going to go for this attack, so I'll prep this or I'll do this
That's not
movement
what I'm
early or
saying.
something. We never see that. I didn't say that's what you said. I'm just giving you an example of how knowledge would lead to him being able to fight easier. We never see that in the fight. He just
We
uses the same
do.
things Lee uses.
So not actually understanding what I'm saying. You keep saying that we don't see anything within this fight that suggests that, or no statement or anything. What I'm specifically saying is that Lee movements in itself, him copying those movements in itself, is the reason why he's able to evade Gara attack. We literally see him doing the same thing that Lee is doing. Okay, so the fact that he prepped this taijutsu and literally trained specifically for Gara, literally knows that he's what his moves are going to do because Kakashi made him specifically look into the Sharingan and mimic these said movements because Lee did it against Gaara. Okay, so that is the prep time that I am saying that will give him an advantage. I already gave you an example that will lead to a better example. I mean, advantage that literally fits the description of what I'm saying.
Okay,
You're
but
not
wait,
really
if
addressing what.
if
Hold on, I
if he's
wasn't done.
just yeah, if he's
I was.
just
I
copying
wasn't
Lee's
finished.
move. Oh, my bad.
Yeah. But you can go ahead because you just made me lose my train of thought because you cut me off. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So if he's just copying what Lee is doing, and you're saying that he saw like, oh, Lee was able to like, land on Gara, and then he copied what Lee did and did that, what makes Sasuke special to be the strongest if he's copying what Lee is doing? What
That's the
about
that's
him makes him stronger?
That's the conflict. I'm not saying that he's stronger. I'm saying that the advantage gave him uh the lead movements, copying his lead movements gave him the advantage in this fight. Not also that, we also know that Gara was literally going through a mental spasm before the fight, even before he fought Sasuke, which can lose focus and make him perform even worse than what he did
Okay,
against
well,
Lee.
that's a
Oh,
separate thing. We can get into that in a minute, but
yeah.
I still don't really get what you're saying. If he's copying what Lee's doing, what difference makes Sasuke the strongest opponent? That's the problem because
He's
you're
not
saying his
strong.
knowledge is that he's copying what Lee is doing, but then something has to make him the superior opponent. So what is it?
He's not the superior opponent. That's where the conflict is. You're going based off the
He
data
said,
book statement, and I'm saying that the data book statement is literally contradicted by what is shown in the fight. I'm
"Oh,
literally saying
okay,
there are certain
okay,
yeah, I'm literally
yeah, we,
saying
we
there's
we
certain
we can get into that then. So what contradictions do you think are presented?
the contradictions, whereas I think Lee is still a faster person than fucking Sasuke is. Do you disagree with that?
Yeah, I disagree with that. You can tell me
Okay.
why you think he's faster though.
Yeah, I can. That would be via my scaling, right? If we gonna go into my scaling.
Yeah, if you want to present the contradiction, let's hear it.
Yeah, I got you. So are you aware that Lee's able to react to Kimimaro?
Uh, Trunkly, yeah.
Drunk Lee. It's stated to be slower than what he was in the printing exams.
Is he? I'm not aware of that.
So I'll continue the statement.
Okay.
What the fuck? Hold on.
Lee shows up at like 209, by the way, if that helps.
Mhm. Okay, I know where is that.
Bro, Viz translates it to potion punch.
Okay. What's that again? All right. If you look in lobby, I sent it.
Okay. Here, I'm gonna move it to scans.
Oh. Mhm.
You just fired bonus from his fingertips. You're impatient. Last time we fought, you were faster and sharper than this. Yeah, but didn't Gara show up at the very end of the fight?
The very end, we don't know when he showed up in the fight. Obviously, to be fun, to be honest, all we know is that he makes a statement about him being a slower, and then Lee literally directs the said claim, which literally saying, "I'm not to blame you or whatever, but your fight with me really put a toll on me." So he's talking about the fight against Gar, which made him injured, which made him slower than what he was prior in the tuning
Yeah,
exam.
hold up. Let me go look. I want to make sure I'm getting this order of events right. Um, one moment. Yeah, hold up. This is what Lee looked like before Gara showed up.
I don't think he
He
got
was
hard.
he was like collapsing on the ground.
Do you get? Did you? I don't think you understood my argument.
No, I'm aware of your argument. I'm telling you, Gara's statement is talking about a Lee that was like already gone through a battle and was like buzzed and was like collapsing on the ground. So
No, he's talking
obviously
about.
he's slower.
Okay, you ready to move on? Because I don't think you got my argument.
Well, hold up. I'm not just going to immediately move on. What do you think I didn't understand?
I mean, you said you got it though, did you not?
I mean, I think I did, but what do you think I didn't understand?
You think you got it, then we should move on. What the fuck?
Uh, but I want to hear what you think I missed. Are you just not going to repeat
Obviously,
anything? Are you
you
not going to like
obviously
converse?
obviously you would try to move on now or not move on now because you heard that did my
So
argument.
are you going to forcibly move on and just not repeat yourself? What do you think I missed?
So if you're gonna say you got my argument and then say, can you repeat it again? Then obviously there's something that you know you miss. But anyways,
No,
like I said before,
I think I understood it, but you're saying I didn't, so I'm asking for you to repeat it.
because you didn't get it. What the fuck? But I will repeat it for you. Okay, put on your little ears now. What I said before was that Lee literally admits this to Gara by literally saying, "You're I'm not trying to blame you or anything, but your fight with me really put a toll on me." So he's saying that he's not going to be the same speed as he was back in the tuning exams. This Lee in particular, just the Lee who fought Kimimaro. Okay. And that's why Lee literally says in the fight, he has to avoid using any big moves because he's injured and that might possibly kill him or
Yeah.
damage him.
Okay. So yeah, so Lee afterwards, I see the skin you're talking about, um, where Lee says like, "You really did a number on me." This one.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not saying that Gara's statement is wrong. I'm saying the problem is that the Lee that Gara sees is a already weakened Lee. So of course he's going to be slower. And even if Lee was injured from the Gara fight, it can be both. It's that he's injured from the Kimimaru fight and from the Gara fight, and then he's significantly slower because of that.
No, that's not the reason. So he's saying that he was faster once they once fought, correct? If he was faster once they once fought, and then Lee literally says, "You did a number on me," that's talking about the fight in particular to Gara. So he's literally admitting that the fight with Gara is what made him slower. Yes, it can be the case that he can be now slower from the Kimimaro fight because he's hurt and from the Gara fight. But I'm saying in general, this Lee is slower, period, even in the beginning of Kimimaro fight because of the damage that he took via Gara. And that's the
Okay.
reason why he was in the hospital. And that's the reason why he wasn't even part to partake on this mission because his surgery was not finished. And that's the reason why Lee said he can't use any big moves in the fight because now he is not the same as he was in the tuning exams.
Okay. So you're saying regardless of if he's also weakened from the Kimimaru fight, just because he was injured from the Gara fight, he's going to start off the fight weaker, right?
Because he's injured from the Gara fight, he's going to be slower than what he once was. And yes, he could get more slower during the Kimimaru fight if
Okay.
he takes more damage. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So you know that I agree that he was injured, right? You also know that when you fight in Naruto, that's like a form of training. It's actually better than training.
Prove that.
Sure.
That's part two. That's stated in part two. We're doing part one.
We never said part one. We just said Sasuke versus Lee tuning exams.
When we do part one topics, we do part one.
You never said part one. We just said Sasuke
there's a
versus Lee
lot of
tuning
things
exams.
because there's a lot of things that are changed in part two that is in part one.
Yeah, but we never said just part one. So I'm going to use
Okay,
part
well,
two.
I'm just going to make the argument that part two knowledge is contradicted.
It's the same manga.
Yeah, what it's the same manga, but they're contradicting ideas in the same manga. So that is the argument.
I mean, there can be retcons in manga, but you'd have to show that this statement that I'm about to post is a retcon statement.
Argument, once again, I don't have to specifically say that this thing in particular is retcon. I'm saying there's a consistency that these things are retcon. You would need to prove that this set one that you're talking about is not one of those. I'm not an affirmative here, okay? You're the one affirming that this said thing is the case. I'm presenting the possibility of this said thing not being retcon. I mean, being retcon, okay?
Okay, so, okay, first I'm going to post a statement, and then we can go into this. Let me just find it real fast. Oh my god, what fucking chapter is this bullshit? I think I found it. Well, actually, hold up. Is your only problem with the statement that you think it's like a potentially retcon thing? Like, do you know the statement I'm talking about?
Yes, because there are things that are stated in part one. Are you talking about the Killer Bee statement?
Yes. My question is, do you need me to post it, or can we just argue about if it's contradicted?
I don't need you to post a statement at all. I don't know the statement you're talking about.
Okay, yeah, that's cool then. Cool. So you're saying that lots and lots of things are contradicted. What exactly are you even referring to?
How they stated that the Hokage is the strongest ninja in the village. That's not the case within part two.
That's not. Wait, what? That's not a contradiction. Okay, hold up.
That is a
What example?
contradiction.
Wait, what example are you bringing up in part two of that?
Tsunade is not the strongest in the village.
Yeah. So okay, it's stated in part one the Hokage is the strongest in the village, but then later somebody becomes stronger than the Hokage. So when the statement was made, that statement's fine. Statements can only apply. Wait, let me finish. Statements can only apply to the time in which they're made. At the time it was made, that's fine. Later down the line, it becomes untrue, but that's not stated when Tsunade and Naruto are both around.
You're going to prove
Naruto,
that.
At least.
You're going to prove that she was the strongest from the get-go. Go ahead.
That she was the strongest from the get-go.
And when she became Hokage, she was the strongest. Because I don't think that's true.
Well, but you're stating it's a contradiction. So what about it's a contradiction?
No, don't try to switch the burden. All I stated was that it is a burden that you're trying to switch because we were on this point because I literally said that Tsunade is not the strongest in the village. And then you say, well, that's fine. She was the strongest in the village. And then later down the line, somebody became stronger than her. That was your refutation towards that claim. That's exactly what you said. That's exactly what you said. That's exactly what you said.
I can explain.
Later down the line, somebody became stronger than her. So you need to prove that said thing is true. That's the argument you made.
I gotcha. So, okay, yes, let me explain what I said. What I said is that when the statement was made, that was true. But I hope you know when that statement was made, Tsunade wasn't the Hokage.
That doesn't matter. If the
It does
Hokage is the
matter.
strongest, be quiet, please. Thank you. If the Hawk, if there's a precedent set within Naruto that the Hokage is the strongest ninja in the village, yes, it is true when that said statement is made. Okay, but that is still a claim. The
Hmm.
Hokage is the strongest ninja in the village. So whoever the Hokage is, it will fit the description that they are the
Hmm.
strongest in the village. That is a conditional statement. If you are the Hokage, then you are the strongest in the village because the Hokage is the strongest ninja in the village. Okay, if you're saying this thing is changed when Tsunade becomes a fucking Hokage, that will indeed be a contradiction. I don't understand what you're not understanding.
So, are you? I'm guessing you're referring to what what's his fucking name? Iruka says, right? Are you talking about that statement?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So this statement's like all cool and everything. But again, Tsunade wasn't the Hokage when the statement was made. Do you think
I heard
Iruka
that
has
already.
like wait? Do you think Iruka has like future sight? Because obviously he doesn't. So then
Do
the
you
thing
think
that we
that
would
Haruka was
say,
only around that when Hiruzen was the Hokage?
no, but the statement was made before Tsunade was even in the manga, dude.
But they're not even talking about just Hiruzen alone. They're talking about the position as a Hokage, period.
I know. Okay, we
Okay,
can get
then.
into that. Wait. We can go down that now, right? So Tsunade gets granted the title of Hokage. Cool. You brought up the example of Naruto surpassed her. I'm guessing you mean in the Pain arc. I agree with that. That is way down the road though, and when she was given the title, you would need to show there's any problem with her being the strongest in the village. Who in the village surpassed Tsunade?
Are you dumb? Are you dumb? Hello, I'm talking to you. I'm speaking to
No.
you.
Oh, sorry. You're asking irrelevant fucking questions. So if you want to
My
answer
bad.
the thing
But
about
once
who
again,
actually
that is
surpassed
was not my
Tsunade,
burden to prove. That wasn't my burden. So you're not going to switch the burdens, right? So I'm going to explain to you why that is not my burden. Once again. So the reason why we went down. Oh,
this is your burden still.
Be quiet. Don't cut me off. Okay. Thank you. All right. So the reason why that thing was not my said burden because I presented that this said thing is not the case. Okay, because if you are the Hokage, you are the strongest ninja in the village. Now, when I talked about your argument, you try to say that's not what you were saying, but that's literally what you're saying right now. Okay, you said that when she was presented the title Hokage, she was the strongest in the village. Is that not your claim? Yes or no?
That's actually not what I said.
But you just said
Yeah,
that I would need to prove. You
you've
just
been
said that I
strawmanning
would need
me.
to prove. You just said that I need to prove that when
Hmm.
she was presented the title of Hokage, that she was
Hmm.
not the strongest in the village. Is that not what you just said?
Yeah, I asked you a question that you
Okay,
have
so
to
I am not
prove
on
to
the
prove
no.
your
I am
argument.
not on the affirmative here. You are the one on an affirmative. I am
Okay,
presenting these
okay,
contradictions
hold
as
up.
skepticism toward. Be quiet. I don't know why you keep doing this little. Shut the fuck up, bitch! Before I smack your ass with cheese, you nasty neck ass ugly bitch. Now I'm about
Hmm.
to get fucking aggressive with this motherfucker. So you cutting me
Hmm.
off. See,
Hmm.
this is why I don't fucking debate. Stop saying you nasty ass bitch.
Hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna need moderation
Hmm.
now. We're gonna need moderation.
Hmm.
We're gonna need
Hmm.
moderation. We're gonna need
Oh,
moderation.
we need moderation.
Yeah,
So
we're gonna need
scary.
moderation. We're gonna need moderation. So, Eraser, can you get
You're a
somebody to
grown
moderate?
man
'Cause I
acting
don't know
like
why
this,
this fucking
bro.
nasty neck ass bitch can't shut the fuck up.
Hmm. Hmm.
Stupid bitch.
Hmm. Okay.
Wait, who do you guys want moderating?
I really don't care. I just think this is funny that he's acting like this. He's a grown man doing this shit.
I don't give a
D1,
fuck, nigga.
do you have anyone in mind?
He's a grown man doing this. Yeah, I'm a grown man, nigga. And I'm beating the
Wait,
fuck out of you.
oh wait,
Now
I
what?
think D1 has me local muted.
So
Never
we're gonna get
mind.
moderation. So mute the
Hmm.
nigga that named himself after a fucking Powerpuff Girl.
Hmm.
Bubbles, can you
Fuck.
tell him to
You
unmute me?
yeah, Godly's trying to speak. Do you have him muted?
Yes, I have Golly muted. So Golly, you're gonna fucking take. We're gonna do talking sticks. I'm tired of this little nut fucker.
How am I gonna do that if I'm muted? Yo, D1, did you unmute me? Yeah, Bubbles, can you ask him to unmute me?
Yeah,
What?
Godly's asking to be unmuted.
Why do I need to unmute you for you to fucking do talking stick?
I'm trying to see who to moderate. What?
Hey, he's trying to pick somebody else to moderate, I think.
Bro, this is the first time I've seen D1 lose polls. I lost polls in what? Nigga, I lose every fucking poll when I'm debating, bro.
Do you want? Don't worry about chat. All right, we're right here, buddy. You don't got to worry about that.
Fuck.
All
Hey,
right.
ask him if he wants Simo to moderate.
Do you want Simo to moderate?
That's
I don't
his
give a
friend, right?
fuck with moderate as long as they mute your ass, nigga.
Okay. So if we want to bump Simo up here to moderate, I'm fine with that.
I'll bring Simo up. I'll bring Troy up. I'll bring any of the guys who do Naruto up. 6 up. Just first one to come up is moderate.
Mhm. Look at that.
Hello.
Wait, 6.
I'm not
Six
moderating,
is
by the
here.
way.
Wait, 6. Yeah, I was about to say, you can't pilot
Oh.
me and moderate at the same time. Get back down there. Keep controlling me.
Okay, buddy.
All right, hold on. Let me accept Troy. All right, I'm gonna drop.
I thought Bubbles was in jail. I never went to jail.
I had to put my shit on speaker. Hello?
Yeah, what's up?
What's good? D1, you got me unmuted?
Who's this?
It's
Troy?
Yeah.
All right, bet. Look, bro, y'all just gonna have to take turns. Please don't try to shut down. So just say something, let them respond, then that's it. Simple as
Cool.
you can continue, D1. Bubbles,
Thank
mute
you.
up.
As I was stating before, I was rudely interrupted by this nasty neck ass Cracker Barrel working ass nigga. Was that um yeah, you're trying to like switch the burden on me to prove your said thing, right? Which your said thing is that you would need to prove that this thing is not retcon within part two, or this said thing is not a contradiction. Like I stated before, it's consistent with in part one that are things that are stated that those things are later now shown to be retcon, aka contradicted within part two. That is the possibility that I'm presenting of this said thing being a retcon, that this part two statement that you're trying to bring up, which is in fact that fighting is a fucking part way to being stronger, right? Or a shortcut to being stronger, right? I don't think that's the same. I don't think that's literally established on within part one. I don't think that's ever stated. I think that how people get stronger in part one specifically is through training. I think fighting gives you experience, but don't necessarily increases your stats in a fight. For example, it doesn't make you physically stronger, doesn't make you physically faster. It just makes you, it gives you better IQ. Um, so like I was stating before, when it stated that Tsunade, that the Hokage is the strongest in the village, right? Tsunade is the Hokage and she is not the strongest in the village. I believe there are people that are stronger than her within the fucking Leaf Village, okay? So you need to prove that she is still the strongest within the village when she is presented the title of Hokage.
Bet. Okay,
Because hold on, wait, I wasn't done.
let's leave it at that one, because just leave it at one burden right now so you won't get lost. All right, Bubbles,
He
you can
always
respond
lost.
to that. You can respond to that.
Okay. So yeah, so he clearly doesn't understand how burden of proof works, right? He said things get contradicted in Shippuden constantly, and there's lots of contradictions within the series and retcons. And I asked him for an example. So I asked for an example of a contradiction, and he brings up the Hokage being the strongest in the village. So he's presenting it as an example of a contradiction, meaning he's claiming it's a contradiction. He then brings up Tsunade, and initially he says Naruto surpasses her, which I agreed with, but Naruto surpassed her after she had already become Hokage, so that's fine. He then goes, well, you can't prove she's the strongest in the village when she becomes Hokage, even though he's the one claiming it's a contradiction. So the burden is on him. He just doesn't actually understand how burden of proofs work and implicit claims.
Okay. D1, did you understand what he was saying? Hello?
Claims work, how interpretations work. If I'm presenting a
You cut
possibility
out.
towards your said, okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you good.
Okay. I'm presenting a possibility towards your claim to contradict your idea or the claim that you brought up, then yes, you would need to prove why your said claim is the case. I'm just showing skepticism towards that said argument. So what I'm going to say here, right? If you agree to the fact that somebody still later down the road still surpasses her, even when she was first presented the fucking title of Hokage, that still would be in fact a contradiction, okay? So this is a double-edged sword. So let's say it is the case that Tsunade is the strongest in the village, which she is not, and nobody in the village is stronger than her. Okay, and then later down the line, Naruto becomes stronger than her, and she is Hokage. That would still be a contradiction. That the Hokage is not the strongest in the village. That still would be a contradiction, no matter if it's later presented down the line or not. So, for example, it is stated LeBron James is the best player in the NBA. Okay, and then somebody later down the line is better than LeBron James. That would mean that he is not the best player in the NBA. Okay, so yes, it will still be a contradiction because she
Did
is
you
still presented the title of Hokage. You stupid
did you
bitch.
did you hear what Bubbles? Because y'all kind of repeated yourselves. Did you hear what Bubbles said to that at first about why it wouldn't matter that they got surpassed?
I don't think he said that in the later fucking argument or the other argument.
Well, he can repeat it because if you didn't hear it, I'm not going to give it for him. But Bubbles, you can repeat it. He didn't hear it.
Yeah, if you cut out. So he kind of he brought up the idea that even if Tsunade gets surpassed later on, that would still be a contradiction. But I think he's fucking illiterate and can't read because Iruka says to be granted the title, you must be the strongest in the village. So that would apply to at the time she gets the title. It doesn't say that if you get surpassed when you're Hokage, you get fucking stripped of the title and they give it to the next person. It just says to be granted it. So it would still apply to at the time she's given it, and he's still the one presenting it as a contradiction. He tried to switch up and say, oh, I present it as a possibility. No, I asked him for an example of a contradiction, and he brought this up as his example. So the implicit claim is that there is indeed a contradiction, which he's now trying to run away from because he's a fucking coward. So if he wants to prove his burden, he can speak now, but I don't think this retard can actually prove his claim.
Okay.
So, like I said before, no. Even in the village, fucking pig, you fucking Donald Duck Domino's working bitch. You fucking want to be Powerpuff Girl, nasty neck ass, ugly ass, bitch ass nigga who work at
All right,
Checkers.
get on to the
Shut
claims,
up.
bro.
Hell, my name is Bubbles. Do you want a Whopper? Face ass bitch. Now, anyways, like I was saying, retard. Yes, I do know how claims work, you fucking idiot. Okay? So, I am saying it is not the case that Tsunade is the fucking strongest in the village, even when she's presented the fucking title. We know that the position was literally given to Jiraiya first, but Jiraiya declined it. Okay? And I know people in the fucking village, even outside of Jiraiya, are stronger than fucking Tsunade. People like fucking Kakashi. People like fucking, obviously, Jiraiya. People like fucking Naruto. Even before Naruto even got sage mode, he is fucking stronger than fucking Tsunade. You fucking nasty neck ass bitch. It is literally hinted to the fact that fucking when Naruto learns the fucking Rasen Shuriken, Kakashi literally states that he fucking surpassed them. Okay? And we never see anything in this a fucking panel suggesting how fucking strong Tsunade is, how they literally praise Hiruzen or any Hokage. Anytime there's any Hokage within the village, they literally praise them as the strongest or whatnot. Even when Naruto becomes the fucking Hokage, they, oh my god, look, Sam, you're the strongest. Blasey, but they never say that about fucking Tsunade within the village. Where's the president literally said that she is not. And the only reason why she became the Hokage is because of her fucking intellect, not because she is the fucking strongest. So this thing is fucking retcon, you stupid bitch. So please prove to me that Tsunade was given the title of fucking Hokage because she was the fucking strongest and not due to other factors. Because we know within Naruto, you can be raised to a higher position due to other factors, like fucking Shikamaru, right? He was moved to tuning because of his fucking intellect. We know people like fucking Itachi was moved up to special jonin and shit like that at the age of 11 because he was thinking like a fucking Hokage at the age of a fucking 11. So prove to me, you ugly bitch, that she was moved up to fucking Hokage because she was the strongest and not because due to other factors. Because I already listed one other factor why she was presented the fucking thing. Because Jiraiya was declined the position and they had to give it to somebody else. No, Jiraiya literally recommended Tsunade. The higher
All
ups
right,
didn't even give a fuck about Tsunade. Bitch! Now go
all right.
ahead, pussy.
Let him respond.
Okay.
Bubbles.
So yeah, he brought up examples of, oh, even at the time she was made Hokage, she wasn't the strongest in the village. And one of the examples he brought up of at the time she was made Hokage, she wasn't the strongest, is Naruto learning the Rasen Shuriken. Now, I don't know if he got hit with some psychic damage and is retarded now, but Naruto learned the Rasen Shuriken hundreds of chapters after Tsunade was appointed Hokage. So I don't think he read the fucking manga. He then also brought up Jiraiya, who he himself brought up, turned down the fucking position, and he said, we know Jiraiya's way stronger, even though the Sannin are stated to be on par multiple fucking times. Tsunade herself is stated to be on par with Jiraiya, and Jiraiya turned it down. So there's two equal people,
You're gonna
and
prove
one
that.
of them said, no, you're interjecting, you dumb bitch.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All
Fuck
right.
you,
I'll
stupid
say
bitch.
nothing.
Fuck you, nigga.
Yeah, somebody serve me
Go
that
ahead.
dumbass. It's stated
Yeah, go
Tsunade is on par, so that's why it's fine for her to be given the title. even when Jiraiya's around. And then he said Kakashi's stronger. I don't know where the fuck he even got that from. So I don't even know how to respond because he didn't give any fucking proof of that. So there's still no contradiction with Tsunade at the time she was given the position being the strongest. The only person relevant to her was Jiraiya, who turned it down, and she's still relative to that motherfucker.
Was that it?
Yeah, he's good to say whatever dumb shit he wants to say now.
Yeah, can you mute the nigga who sucks dick? Unironically. Well, anyways, bro.
Oh,
So I want you to
mute
prove.
then.
Shut up, bitch. I want you to prove that fucking relative. You dumb bitch. Please made it in fucking part one. You fucking when they were fucking actually the fucking Sani. Now that these people literally fucking regrouped from each other and they're not longer the Sani, the Orochimaru is doing his own shit, Tsunade's doing his own shit, and Jiraiya's doing his own shit. Prove that now at the time when Jiraiya was fucking given the position of Hokage or suggest the position of Hokage that they are now still relative, bitch. Go ahead and prove that.
That was quick.
Okay, gotcha. So here we have, first of all, you said that they're no longer the Sanin. I don't know where you got that from. Jiraiya in part 2 still refers to himself as a Sanin, and in
That's
part
not what
1
I was
they're
saying,
referred to as hey, don't interrupt. And in part 1 they're referred to as Sanin. But as for Tsunade, here's the statement literally saying she's every bit a match for Jiraiya and Orochimaru. So yes, in part 1, she is a match for Jiraiya and Orochimaru. There's no problem with that. They're also still the Sanin. I don't know where the fuck you got that from. So yeah, I mean, he can say some more brain dead shit now. I'll mute my mic.
Thank you. I understand you got a little you got a DA appointment tonight. I understand that. But hey, like I was saying, retard, you saying that she's a match for fucking Jiraiya, that can just be consistent with what is being stated within the fucking series that the Sanin are relative. So they can just be going based off of that, dumb bitch. So once again, what actual evidence that you have that actually supports the idea that Tsunade and Jiraiya are relative? Because even in their fucking deadlock match against fucking Orochimaru, while fucking Jiraiya was literally nerfed, he still put up a much better fight than what fucking Tsunade fucking did against fucking Orochimaru. Fucking Orochimaru doesn't even fucking consider fucking Tsunade a fucking threat. He considers fucking Jiraiya a fucking threat, okay? And we literally know that fucking Pain literally says that fucking if Jiraiya knew about all their abilities, that he would have been able to defeat them. Or he would have had a fucking a chance to defeat them. Whereas Tsunade fucking struggled with the fucking passive pains and were fucking screaming to the top of her lungs, losing her fucking life while she on her fucking period. Bitch. So once again, I don't think that anything you said actually supports the idea that they're now still relative. It could just be consistent with what is being stated within the series, how they're saying that the Sanin are relative. And what I was saying is that they're not a group anymore. They don't no longer fight together. This is when they were literally in the village going on missions together and shit. They considered themselves the fucking Sanin. Now that these guys went on their separate ways and they got stronger, obviously, you can't even prove that Jiraiya had Sage Mode back then. So go ahead and prove that even Tsunade even knows about Jiraiya's Sage Mode. So the other factors that fucking Tsunade doesn't even know about the Jiraiya and that we were unaware about now you're gonna say I'm saying some brain dead shit. No, you're gonna say some dick sucking shit with your fucking lips because you don't know what the fuck you be saying, you Darcy ass bitch. I don't know this man names himself a Powerpuff Girl. You fucking weird ass nigga.
You finished
The fuck up,
claim?
bitch.
You finished with
Yeah,
the
I'm
claim?
done.
All right, Bubbles talk.
Okay. So yeah, I'm good to end this point in a minute because clearly this man's spiraling and slowly going insane. But in his response, he brought up multiple things from part 2 when this whole point started because he said part 2 information shouldn't be valid for this debate. So I don't know if he's just an idiot and is suddenly spiraling out and forgetting what he said 5 minutes ago, but he's literally now using information he told me I shouldn't be able to use because it's constantly contradicted. I don't know what the fuck he's going on about. I don't know what he's saying. He then admitted that they're still Sanin and they're just not in a group anymore. But then he proceeded to say that the Sanin are supposed to be equal. So I don't know why them not being together means anything if they're still Sanin. And the statement doesn't say that they're known to be. It just says she is a match for them. He's just making bullshit up because he can't think of anything at this point. So I'm fine to move off this because this guy's being retarded at this point. And I do have an appointment. I have to go fuck his dad later. So...
What? What did you just say?
I said I gotta go fuck his dad later.
Barely heard. But if you think he's not understanding, you want to move on?
Yes, I would love to move on. He's a fucking retard. He
All right,
doesn't have any scaling for Sasuke. He just was going on based off a data book scan that got fucking blown the fuck out completely. Do you have anything else for Sasuke?
Bubbles.
Anything else for Sasuke? I mean, I could bring out more, but I've already won, so.
Oh, you can think that. If you think you won based off that point,
Oh,
we
wait,
can end the
so
debate here.
I was about to say, y'all want to go to? Do y'all want to do win cons or y'all just cool with ending it here?
I
I
want
mean,
to
I
end it
think
here.
they're, yeah, I think the win cons are pretty,
Yeah.
clear. They're pretty basic fighters.
Okay. Well, I don't know why y'all so mad at each other, but good debate, I guess.
Yeah.